Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Smackdown and AEW Rampage review. Smackdown tonight was from the Giant Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania, while Rampage was taped from the Now Arena in Chicago. And Smackdown tonight, this was their go-home show for Payback, which is tomorrow night. And the show was awful, in my opinion. The show was terrible. Outside of John Cena returning and LA Knight and the Miz's segment and the main event between Sikoa and AJ Styles, the show was just awful, in my opinion. But tonight on SmackDown, we had Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. They ended up teaming up to take on Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were in action, and they have taken on Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. So they had to get all of LWO minus Zelina Vega in matches tonight. Then we had Shotzi. She ended up taking on Bayley. And of course, the main event was Sikoa versus AJ Styles. Overall, the show was awful, and it did nothing to hype you up for Payback tomorrow night. But anyways, let's jump right into the review. SmackDown opened up tonight with John Cena. John Cena made his return to SmackDown tonight, and he got a huge pop from the crowd there in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And the fans were chanting Cena, of course. Cena got on the mic. He kept saying that the fans have given him 20 years of moments, and it never gets old when he comes out, and that it just gets better. So before he said all that, he welcomed everybody to SmackDown. Cena kept saying that's why he will do his best to say thank you. He kept saying a thank you for all they have given, and all they will continue to give. So Cena ended up saying that the fans have given him the chance to come home to his WWE family. And of course, John Cena made his return because, of course, the strike that's happening. Cena ended up saying that he has the opportunity to go to India and have a match there for the first time. Of course, WWE's show that they're doing in India, which is not going to be live on Peacock. It's just taking place there. It's going to be a house show. So Cena ended up announcing that he is hosting Payback tomorrow night. So Cena gave his word. He ended up saying that he will do his best to give back to them. And that starts right here, right now. He wants to give back to the fans. So he ended up saying they have questions, and they will give them answers. Because of the energy, electricity, the noise, the WWE are giving them unforgettable moments. So then out came Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso came out. He got new entrance music, which was okay, in my opinion. I think Jimmy Uso's new music is okay. So Jimmy got into the ring, and the fans were chanting, "We want Jay." So Jimmy got on the mic, and he kept asking Cena, what is he doing here? So the fans started to boo Jimmy. Jimmy ended up telling the fans not to boo him, and the fans came to see him, the top star. So he ended up saying that he will save his brother 10 times over if he has to. He did it because he loves his brother. Jimmy ended up telling Cena that the funny thing is that he didn't want Jay to be corrupt like Roman or be corrupted by him. So Jimmy ended up looking at Cena and he ended up laughing. Cena ended up saying to Jimmy that he has a certain fashion sense. He never gave up on it. So Jimmy ended up calling Cena a GOAT, the greatest of all time. He ended up telling him he is now in the ring with one of the best. He then ended up telling Cena that him and Roman are exactly alike. They take take, and take. He ended up saying that the only difference is Cena does it with a smile. So Cena then ended up telling Jimmy that Jimmy has had a lot on his mind, and he's probably thinking about a lot of things. Cena ended up saying that he has wanted to say this to Jimmy for 3 years because he has only been thinking about one thing. So then Cena told Jimmy that the wrong Uso quit. So Jimmy ended up going for a super kick to Cena. Cena blocked it, and Cena ended up picking Jimmy up. He delivered the AA to Jimmy, and pretty much that was basically that. But overall, good opening to SmackDown here. John Cena, returns, and is going to be the host of Payback tomorrow. It was good seeing Cena. And then we went backstage, and we saw Kayla Braxton. She was with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Kayla Braxton ended up asking Waller and Theory about John Cena being the host of Payback. So both Waller and Theory looked at each other, and they ended up laughing. Theory ended up telling Kayla Braxton that he beat Cena at WrestleMania. Waller ended up saying that at Payback, people will talk about Theory getting his United States Championship back, and also Cody Rhodes being on his show, because Cody Rhodes is going to be on the Grayson Waller effect at Payback. So Austin Theory ended up telling Kayla Braxton if she is done fantasizing about Cena, to get ready to see the greatest tag team of all time beat Rey Mysterio and Santos Uno Leg. To which that was what Theory ended up saying. But overall, this was just a okay interview with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory here. And pairing Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, this is another random pairing here. They're not a legit tag team. But them putting Grayson Waller and Austin Theory here, it has the looks of them being a decent tag team, even though they're not, like I said, a legit tag team here. So they just paired Grayson Waller and Austin Theory up like that. And then we had the first match of the night. Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Okay match this was. Match got underway. Grayson Waller and Santos Escobar start off the match. Escobar ended up delivering a drop kick. He ended up going for the cover on Waller, but Waller ended up kicking out. Rey then tagged in, and both Rey and Escobar ended up double teaming on Waller. Rey then grabbed Waller and threw him to the outside. And then in came Austin Theory, and Rey ended up throwing Theory to the outside. Escobar then tagged in. He ended up throwing Rey over the top rope onto both Theory and Waller. And then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Theory and Waller ended up double teaming on Rey in the ring. Waller delivered some knees to Rey's face. He ended up going for a right hand. Rey ended up moving out of the way, and Waller accidentally knocked Theory out of the ring. Waller then helped Theory back up. Waller got back into the ring, and Rey ended up knocking Waller down. Escobar then tagged in. He ended up hitting the crossbody onto Waller. He ended up going for the cover, and Waller ended up kicking out. Theory then got into the ring, but Rey ended up throwing Theory out of the ring. Escobar then ended up kicking Waller to the outside. Waller then got into the ring as Escobar moved Rey out of the way, and Theory delivered a chop block onto Escobar's leg. So Rey and Theory fought to the outside. Waller got into the ring. He ended up hitting Escobar with a stunner. So Waller ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller ended up winning the match. Overall, this was an okay match here. I liked how Santos Escobar moved Rey out of the way, and Theory ended up chop blocking Santos's leg. He took a bullet for Rey there. But I think Austin Theory and Waller did a decent job here, being a team. And then we had Mia Yim. Mia Yim was backstage with Adam Pearce. Jimmy Uso ended up coming in to interrupt. Pearce ended up saying this is what he wanted to talk to him about, and that he can't go around being rude to people. Jimmy ended up leaving, and Adam Pearce ended up apologizing to Mia Yim, and that was that. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we had the OC backstage. Styles ended up asking them what is going on. Mia Yim ended up saying that Jimmy disrespected her earlier. And Styles ended up saying that is a big deal. And then Styles ended up walking away, and that was that. And then we went to Bobby Lashley, the almighty Bobby Lashley. He was in the ring, he got on the mic, he ended up telling the fans they know how to make somebody feel good, but they have some business to take care of. Lashley ended up saying that everywhere he goes, everybody keeps asking him the same question. And that question is, Bobby, what's going on with you and the Street Profits? And Lashley ended up saying that he's here tonight to give a straight answer. He ended up saying, real recognizes real. He ended up saying, great recognizes great. And that is why he recognizes the Street Profits. So out came the Street Profits. Both Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins were wearing suits, very nice suits. And they got cheers from the crowd there. So Bobby Lashley ended up speaking about the Street Profits. He ended up calling the Street Profits charismatic, athletic, and more aggressive than they have ever been. Montez Ford ended up telling Bobby Lashley to hold up. He ended up saying tonight is not about them. It's about them giving the gratitude to him for everything Lashley has given to them. He ended up saying that it has been a long time since they have had this music success. He ended up saying they have fresh haircuts, watches, suits, and they both are sexy. Dawkins ended up saying that Lashley has helped them see the bigger picture. He ended up saying that they stepped over what was and stepped into what is. Montez Ford ended up saying, what to is, repeatedly. He ended up saying that it's nothing personal. It's just profits. Montez Ford ended up telling Lashley that they only have 2 words for him. Thank you. Which that made Lashley smile. Lashley ended up saying that they don't have to thank, but they can thank him with their continued success. And he ended up saying they are sending a message to the WWE Universe. They are coming for power, control, and championship gold. And that they are coming for it all. So that was what Bobby Lashley said. But very interested in seeing, what they do here with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. And I like to see, the Profits, holding, championship gold at some point. But thought this segment was, pretty decent here. And then we had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. Quick match this was. We had to get all of LWO on the show tonight, minus Zelina Vega in a match. So Joaquin Wilde delivered a spinning elbow onto Sami Zayn. Wilde ended up going for the cover, but Sami Zayn ended up kicking out. So Wilde ended up running to the ropes. Sami Zayn delivered a clothesline. Kevin Owens ended up tagging in. He ended up pinning a swanton to Wilde off the top rope. Owens ended up going for the cover, but Wilde ended up kicking out. Owens then ended up throwing Wilde to the ropes, but Wilde ended up hitting Owens with a drop kick. Cruz del Toro then tagged in. He ended up hitting Kevin Owens with some right hands. Cruz del Toro ended up getting on the ring apron, and he ended up kicking Sami Zayn down. So del Toro got into the ring. Owens ended up hitting him with a pop-up powerbomb. Sami Zayn then tagged in. He ended up kicking Joaquin Wilde off the ring apron. He ended up hitting Cruz del Toro with the Luva kick. Kevin Owens then tagged in, ended up hitting del Toro with a stunner. He ended up going for the cover. And there you go. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn ended up winning the match. Post-match, Sami Zayn got on the mic. He ended up telling the Judgment Day that tomorrow will not be fun or pretty. And he ended up saying for the Judgment Day to bring everything they have, because tomorrow night will be the fight of their life. So that was what Sami Zayn, had to say. But quick match, this was. In my opinion, the match made no sense because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are baby faces. Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, they are baby faces. So we couldn't determine who were the baby faces and who were the heels here. It's babyface team versus babyface team. But looking forward to the Pittsburgh Steel City Street Fight tomorrow night at Payback. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Balor and Damian Priest. Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship on the line. Should be a good match tomorrow night. So looking forward to it. And then we saw Jimmy Uso backstage. Jimmy Uso had his bags, and he was shown leaving the arena as Styles ended up stopping him. Styles ended up asking Jimmy if he is leaving, to which Jimmy ended up saying that he is. So Styles then ended up telling Jimmy good, because no one wants Jimmy here. Styles ended up telling Jimmy that he can't disrespect Mia Yim like that. So Jimmy ended up pushing Styles, and Styles ended up pushing Jimmy down to the floor. In came Sikoa, who ended up knocking Styles down. Sikoa ended up telling Jimmy that he will leave the bloodline when he tells him he can leave the bloodline. So Jimmy got up, he ended up grabbing his bags. He ended up telling Sikoa that not he nor Paul Heyman or Roman Reigns can tell him what to do. So Jimmy then grabbed his bags and he left the arena. And then, as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Kathy Kelly was backstage with AJ Styles. Styles ended up telling Kathy Kelly that the Bloodline think they run SmackDown and WWE. They don't. Styles ended up saying that he wants Sikoa tonight. So in came Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. They ended up telling Styles that they don't need to get involved in the Bloodline stuff. Also, Mia Yim was there. Mia Yim ended up disagreeing with Gallows and Anderson. And she ended up agreeing with Styles. So we had Styles end up looking at Gallows, Anderson, and Mia Yim. He ended up saying that he has to remind everyone that this is the house that AJ Styles built. So that was that. And then we had The Miz end up coming out. Great. We had to see The Miz on Monday night, and now tonight on Friday. Miz ended up saying that tomorrow night at Payback, LA Knight will be competing in the biggest match of his career. So the fans started chanting LA Knight, as Miz ended up saying that it's not an insult, it's a fact. He ended up saying everyone saw how easy it was for him to be LA Knight on Raw. To which Miz on Raw as LA Knight was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. What? Yeah, what? Yeah, that was the Miz doing his LA Knight impression on Raw on Monday. Yeah, I'm the greatest. Yeah, what? Yeah, what? So he ended up saying that Knight is not on his level. He is not half the star he is. And that he is not half the star he was 10 years ago. So then we had L.A. Knight. Yeah! He ended up coming out. Got a huge pop from the crowd. Knight got into the ring. The fans were chanting his name. And Knight ended up doing his, shtick, let me talk to you. Knight ended up saying, here comes the Miz with his infamous dress-up time. He ended up saying, to go down the line, he has done The Rock, John Cena, and now has done LA Knight. Yeah! So Knight ended up saying all three of those guys have something in common. He ended up saying, aside from the fact that Miz is skinny and can't fill their clothes, but all three are guys that Miz wants to be, but can't. So Knight ended up saying that he brought himself out of the sewer to stand in the ring. He ended up saying that he has lived in roach-infested apartments. He had missed buses going to work. He has cashed his checks at the payday loan places. He ended up saying Miz got to walk in from a reality show, ride the elevator up. He ended up saying, meanwhile, he had to start from the bottom. He ended up saying that it's Miz that is not on his level. So Miz ended up saying that LA Knight has failed where he has succeeded. He ended up saying Knight was on a reality show, but he was the first eliminated, in which he referenced LA Knight when he was on the show The Hero, which was hosted by The Rock. It was a reality competition show, and LA Knight was one of the contestants on there. And it was a pretty interesting show. It only lasted one season. I thought it was a pretty good show. So Miz ended up saying that it took him 3 years to get to where he is. Movies, TV, he succeeded because he is a star. He ended up mentioning, the Marine films, Miz and Mrs. LA Knight then ended up telling the Miz that he succeeded because he took advantage of every advantage he had. Knight ended up saying that the star of his show is his wife, is Maurice, as he carries her bag, as Miz carries her bag, and she carries his giblets. So the fans end up chanting tiny balls, again with the awful fucking tiny balls chant. Can we stop with that? It is not funny. It was never funny. God, so awful when they chant tiny balls, tiny balls, tiny balls. Fucking cringe and awful. So Knight ended up saying that he wants Miz to send Maurice his regards, because after Payback, he will send her a broken husband. She is going to be empty inside. But with one call to him, they can fix that real quick. So Miz ended up saying after all those years of preparing promos, it paid off. He ended up saying that these people love him. They relate to him because people are failures. Miz ended up saying that they try, they fail, they settle for mediocrity. He ended up saying, but LA Knight is different. He has had losses, hopes, and dreams crushed. Setbacks, but he never gave up. He ended up saying that gives him a chance to do something that these fans will never do, and that is succeed. He ended up saying, unfortunately for him, he is going up against a superstar. And this Saturday, he is not only his opponent, he is a human time travel. Miz ended up saying that when Knight loses his match, confidence, popularity, his job, he will go back to his roach-infested apartment, cutting promos in the mirror like it's 2003. So Knight ended up saying, of all the stupid things he said, there was one true thing, and that is that he doesn't quit. He ended up saying he doesn't know how to quit. He ended up saying while Miz is living in the past, he lives in himself. Knight ended up telling Miz his present is trash, and his future is going to be worse. He ended up saying because at Payback, Miz will get stomped out and he will learn in the present and future whose game is it. With everybody saying, L.A. Knight. And then as the crowd went to do yeah, Miz ended up going for a right hand, but Knight ended up ducking. Knight ended up going for a right hand to Miz, but Miz delivered a punch to Knight's throat. And then Miz hit Knight with the skull crushing finale. Miz ended up telling Knight if he wants to talk about the future, this is his future. Miz then threw the mic. He left the ring. Miz started to walk to the back as Knight got up. He ended up running and attacked Miz from behind. So officials had to come out and break up the brawl between Knight and Miz. So Miz ended up running to the back, and that was that. But overall, really enjoyed this segment here. It sold me on Miz and Knight's match tomorrow night. And I would say this was the Miz's best promo in years. So, but really enjoyed this segment. And then we had Shotzi versus Bayley. And this was just a meh match in my opinion. Of course, Shotzi going after Bayley ended up cutting Shotzi's hair off. And Shotzi shaved her head because sadly her sister got cancer. But thoughts and prayers to Shotzi's sister. But match got underway. Bayley ended up going for a kick to Shotzi. Shotzi ended up ducking. Shotzi delivered some right hands, but Bayley ended up pushing Shotzi away. Bayley then slapped Shotzi in the face. Shotzi then ended up laughing, and she hit Bayley with a clothesline. So Shotzi delivered right hands to Bayley, but Bayley ended up kicking Shotzi away. Bayley started stomping on Shotzi in the corner. Bayley ended up getting Shotzi up, but Shotzi delivered a kick to the side of Bayley's head. Shotzi went to the outside as she ended up grabbing Bayley and threw her onto the floor. Shotzi got on the ring apron and she delivered a rolling cannonball onto Bayley, and then SmackDown went to commercial. And then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Bayley ended up getting Shotzi in the Tree of Woe. She ended up hitting Shotzi with an elbow drop. So Bayley ended up going for the cover. Shotzi ended up kicking out. Bayley ended up going for the belly to belly, but Shotzi ended up blocking it. She ended up suplexing Bayley. Shotzi then ended up hitting Bayley with a cannonball in the corner. She climbed to the top rope, but Skye distracted Shotzi, and Bayley ended up knocking Shotzi down. Bayley ended up asking Io for the championship, but Charlotte ended up coming out. So Io approached Charlotte, but Charlotte ended up hitting Io with a big boot. Dakota Kai then distracted the ref as Charlotte ended up getting on the ring apron, and she ended up hitting Bayley with a right hand. Shotzi then ended up hitting Bayley with a modified DDT. She ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Shotzi ended up winning the match. Post-match, Charlotte ended up getting in the ring, and she ended up raising Shotzi's hand in the air, and that was basically that. Overall, match was just meh, in my opinion. Main event, AJ Styles versus Sikoa. This was a good match here. So the match got underway. Styles delivered some chops to Sikoa, but Sikoa ended up pushing Styles away. Sikoa delivered a shoulder tackle onto Styles, knocking him down. Sikoa ended up going for a headbutt, but Styles ended up getting his knees up. He ended up knocking Sikoa down with a kick. Styles ended up going for a slam, but Sikoa delivered an elbow, and we had Sikoa delivering a slam to Styles. Sikoa ended up delivering a chop to Styles' chest. He threw Styles to the ropes, and Styles delivered a kick to Sikoa's face. Styles then delivered a drop kick, which was followed up by a splash in the corner to Sikoa. So Paul Heyman then started to walk down to the ring. That distracted Styles, and Sikoa ended up knocking Styles down. Sikoa then ended up running towards Styles. Styles lowered the top rope, and Sikoa ended up falling to the outside. Styles was on the ring apron. He ended up hitting Sikoa with a sliding knee to his face. Styles then delivered a forearm over the top rope onto Sikoa on the outside. And then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Styles was in control of the match. He ended up jumping off the second rope, but Sikoa delivered a right hand to Styles. Sikoa then ended up slamming Styles rib first into the bottom turnbuckle as Styles fell to the outside of the ring. Sikoa then ended up slamming Styles face first onto the commentary table, and he ended up throwing Styles back into the ring. Sikoa then delivered the spinning solo. He ended up going for the cover, and Styles kicked out. So Sikoa ended up throwing Styles to the ropes, and he delivered a back body drop. Sikoa then ended up going for the Samoan spike, but Styles ended up delivering a kick to Sikoa, which was followed by an overhead kick to Sikoa's face. So both Sikoa and Styles were down at this point in the match. Styles then delivered some running hands to Sikoa. He had run to the ropes and drop kick Sikoa onto his knee. Styles then delivered a running forearm and then a splash in the corner to Styles. Styles ended up going to the ropes, but Sikoa delivered the Samoan drop to Styles. So Sikoa ended up going for the cover, and Styles ended up kicking out. So Styles ended up delivering a moonsault off the second rope as he ended up going for the cover, and Sikoa ended up kicking out. Styles was going for the Styles Clash, but he couldn't lift Sikoa up. Sikoa then ended up lifting Styles up. Styles ended up grabbing the ropes, and he got on the ring apron. Styles delivered a forearm to Sikoa. So Sikoa ended up distracting the ref as Styles was going for the phenomenal forearm. And then out of nowhere, Jimmy Uso ended up tripping Styles up. And Styles ended up falling onto the mat. Sikoa then ended up hitting Styles with the Samoan spike. So Sikoa ended up going for the cover. And there you go. So Sikoa ended up winning the match. Post-match, Jimmy Uso got into the ring. He hugged Sikoa from behind as Paul Heyman stood on the ring apron. Sikoa looked angry, and he ended up grabbing Jimmy. He was going to lay Jimmy out with the Samoan spike, but Paul Heyman ended up yelling at Sikoa, telling Sikoa not to hit Jimmy Uso with the Samoan spike. So Sikoa and Paul Heyman left the ring. Jimmy ended up hitting Styles with a super kick, and then Jimmy ended up following up with a Uso splash off the top rope onto Styles. And that was how Smackdown went off the air. Overall, good main event match this was between Styles and Sikoa. But overall, awful Smackdown it was tonight. Moving on to AEW Rampage. Rampage was a meh show tonight, but it was better than Smackdown, in my opinion. So we had a Ring of Honor Tag Team Battle Royal where the winners will get to face MJF and Adam Cole for the titles at All Out on Sunday. To which All Out, I gotta say, there is no hype going into the show on Sunday. This is what happens when you have a pay-per-view the following weekend after coming off one of AEW's biggest pay-per-views in All In last weekend. And people are going to have to buy All Out on Sunday. To which this could have been all avoided if Tony Khan did a package deal where, okay, $50 in total upfront for both shows. To which, you get All In and then you get All Out. $50 a piece. You don't have to order it. You don't have to order All Out. You just get it. Just like that if you paid for All In. That's what Tony Khan should have done and announced. Not spending $50 last weekend for All In, but you have to pay another $60 for All Out. This is feeling like a throwaway show in All Out. Chicago may bring it. Chicago is a great crowd when it comes to pro wrestling, but the crowd will be probably the best part of All Out. Because, like I said, literally no hype going into the show after coming off one of the biggest AEW pay-per-views in All In from Wembley in London. And then we had Nick Wayne and El Hijo del Vikingo versus Kip Sabian and Gringo Loco. Haven't seen, Gringo Loco wrestle before. And then we had Hangman and Page versus Bryan Keith. And the main event, the woman main evented, Skye Blue and Willow Nightingale versus Anna Jay and Thai Valkyrie. Overall, Rampage was just a meh show, but in my opinion, better than Smackdown. Rampage opened up tonight with the Ring of Honor No One Contenders Tag Team Battle Royal. The winners will get to face MJF and Adam Cole for the titles Sunday at All Out. And not going to take too much time on this. Just going to say who the winners were. But you had the Butch and the Blade in this. You had the Outrunners. You had Turbo Floyd, Truth Magnum, the Gates of Agony, Conto Leona. You had Matt and Jeff Hardy in it. Aussie Open, to which I don't know why they were put in this Battle Royal when we know that sometime down the line they're going to get their rematch for the titles against MJF and Adam Cole. So I don't understand why they were put into this Battle Royal. You also saw, Action Andretti in there. You had the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta. So the winners of the match were Dark Order, John Silver, Alex Reynolds. You had John Silver end up eliminated Trent Beretta. So there you go. John Silver, Alex Reynolds are facing MJF and Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship Sunday at All Out. And right from there, we all know MJF and Adam Cole are going to retain the titles. So that is that. So then, as Rampage came back from the commercial, Aussie Open, Mark Davis, Kyle Fletcher got in Chris Jericho's face, to which, Jericho was on commentary. Aussie Open started beating Jericho down because, of course, Aussie Open, they're best friends with Will Ospreay. So then Sammy Guevara ended up coming out, and he had Jericho's bad hand Floyd, which forced Aussie Open to back down. So that was basically that. So it looks like we're going to be getting Jericho and Guevara, versus Aussie Open. So that's to come. And then we had, a promo from Mike Santana. It was a little video promo. It explained his journey getting back into AEW and, him going into the Blood and Guts match, how he injured himself, from there. So, pretty good, video promo from Santana there. But there was an article that I read that Santana Ortiz are still not on good terms, and that they were only paired up for the Stadium Stampede match, with the Blackpool Combat Club, Moxley, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta, to take on Eddie Kingston, Penta El Zero Miedo, and the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. So, but hopefully, both Santana and Ortiz, get on good terms. And then we had El Hijo del Vikingo and Nick Wayne versus Gringo Loco and Kip Sabian. And this was a pretty good match here. We had Gringo Loco and Vikingo begin the match. Never seen Gringo Loco wrestle before, but overall he did decent in this match here. So the bell ended up ringing. Gringo Loco was looking for Tejas on Vikingo. Vikingo ended up avoiding that, and Gringo ended up landing arm drag to Vikingo. Vikingo then ended up delivering a kick to Gringo's midsection and Tejas before landing a kick on Gringo's knee. So Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian ended up tagging in. Kip Sabian delivered a boot to Nick Wayne's midsection. Nick Wayne ended up firing back with Tejas and an uppercut to Kip Sabian. Gringo Loco then tried to interfere, but Nick Wayne ended up fighting Gringo off, and he looked to run the ropes. Then Penelope Ford hopped up on the apron, which that allowed Kip Sabian to pull Vikingo off the apron and land a moonsault on Nick Wayne off the ropes to the outside. So then, as Rampage came back from the commercial, Kip Sabian was in control of the match. He delivered a senton to Nick Wayne in the corner, and he tagged in Gringo Loco. Gringo then delivered a moonsault off the top rope, and then Vikingo ended up tagging back in. He delivered an arm drag to Gringo. He ended up singing Gringo on the top rope and delivered a kick to Gringo's spine, and then delivered a reverse Hurricanrana. Nick Wayne then delivered a cutter out of the corner to Kip Sabian. He kept going, flying over the top rope on the outside. You had, Nick Wayne hitting Wayne's World, party time, excellent. So then Vikingo then delivered a 630 senton, and Nick Wayne and El Hijo del Vikingo ended up winning the match. Overall, good match this was. Good back and forth between these guys. And then we had QTV, which, who cares? Who cares? It was just a little promo with QTV. And it showed QT Marshall defend his AAA Latin American Championship. Who cares? And then we had Hangman and Page versus Bryan Keith. This was a decent match here. You had Page and Keith end up locking up. Keith ended up delivering a chop to Hangman and Page, but Page fired back with a pair of chops of his own to Keith. He ended up whipping Keith into the corner. Keith ended up landing an uppercut, but Page ended up leveling him. So both guys ended up going back and forth with some forearms. Bryan Keith ended up landing a suplex to Page. He was looking to hit a clothesline. Page ended up staying on his feet and delivered a fallaway slam to Keith. So Page was then looking to go for a moonsault to Keith on the outside. Keith evaded that, and he ended up running the ropes. Page ended up catching Keith, and he hit him with the buckshot lariat. So Page ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Hangman and Page ended up winning the match. Overall, it was a decent match here between Page and Bryan Keith. Haven't seen Bryan Keith, wrestle before, but he did an okay, job here, with Hangman and Page here. And then we had an interview with Renee Paquette. Renee Paquette was interviewing Roderick Strong. Renee ended up asking Strong about his actions during the main event of All In. And Roderick Strong ended up saying that it's between himself and Adam Cole. So Renee was trying to push for an answer for Strong to, say about his actions during the main event. But Strong became furious, and he stormed off alongside the Kingdom, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett. So that was that. Main event. The women main event at Rampage tonight, Will Nightingale and Skye Blue versus Thai Valkyrie and Anna Jay. This was just, in my opinion. We had Skye Blue, she's from, Chicago, hometown, girl there. So Nightingale and Anna Jay start off the match. So Anna Jay ended up quickly tagging out to Taya. So Nightingale and Ty were looking for suplexes on one another, but they both end up blocking each other from landing the suplex. Taya ended up landing a forearm before Nightingale ended up delivering a suplex to Taya. So Nightingale ended up taking Skye Blue. Skye Blue and Nightingale ended up delivering double kicks to Taya's spine. Willow ended up taking back in, and Anna Jay delivered a cheap kick to Nightingale's spine as Nightingale was looking to run the ropes. So as Rampage came back from the commercial, Ty ended up delivering a kick to Nightingale's jaw. Skye Blue and Anna Jay ended up taking in. Skye Blue fired off some forearms to Anna Jay. Skye Blue ended up delivering a jawbreaker and a drop kick to Anna Jay. Then Skye Blue landed a step-up knee and connected with a kick to Anna Jay's head. Skye Blue then charged at Anna Jay in the corner. Anna Jay ended up ducking out of the way. Skye Blue then ascended to the top and delivered a crossbody to Anna Jay. Then Skye Blue followed up with a knee to Anna Jay's face. So Will Nightingale and Taya ended up getting inside the ring. They began to brawl. Willow ended up delivering a spine buster and a shoulder pounce to Taya. She then ended up getting Taya in an electric chair position as Skye Blue ascended to the top. So Anna Jay ended up pushing Skye Blue off, and she delivered a kick to Willow's jaw as Taya ended up holding Willow in place. So both Anna Jay and Taya were looking to do the same to Skye Blue. Skye Blue ended up ducking out of the way, and Anna Jay inadvertently hits Taya. So Skye Blue ended up delivering a thrust kick and a code blue to Anna Jay. So Skye Blue ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Skye Blue and Will Nightingale ended up winning the match. Post-match, Taya ended up blindsiding Skye Blue, and we had Will Nightingale ended up saving Skye Blue, and that was how Rampage ended. But overall, just a meh match this was. Skye Blue got the win because, of course, it's in her hometown of Chicago. So that's why they had Skye Blue pin Anna Jay. But overall, Rampage, just a very meh show it was. But anyways, that's it for my review of SmackDown and AEW Rampage. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you for Payback tomorrow night. So, see you then.